a political lightning rod since pulling off a stunning victory in the New York City mayoral primary, winning the Democratic nomination with more votes.
Okay, so here we're going to watch Zorhan on The View. I have come to realize that I think we need to stop focusing all of our energy on opposition and resistance. Not all of it. We still have to be the opposition to fascist and report on the bad shit Trump is doing. But while we're reporting on that, we're missing out on giving the American people our agenda. And this is the agenda that the Democratic base wants. We're fixing to watch Zorhan on The View. But we're going to watch this, and then I'll talk some more about it.
Than any candidate in the city's history. His grassroots campaign and social progressive message is resonating beyond the borders of New York, and even has, the White House calling him out. So please welcome New York State Assemblyman and Democratic mayoral candidate, Zohran Mamdani.
Certainly have some fans here, Assemblyman.
Hold on now, we got an hour of the show. So y'all gonna have to calm down so we can talk to him.
Okay. Well, you certainly have some fans here, Assemblyman.
It's a pleasure.
Now, a year ago, you were a largely unknown state assemblyman. Now, at 33 years old...
I got hula hoops. I'm older than you.
At 33, you are a rising star in the Democratic Party. You are the front runner to become the next mayor of New York City this November. My question is, did you see this coming, and what do you credit this meteoric rise to?
First I want to say it's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you all for having me. It really is a joy.
He really has the desire to help poor people in New York City, to help the average New Yorker be able to afford groceries and a bus ticket and be able to fucking live in peace and not be miserable all the time. Working, being a fucking slave for nothing. To be miserable in your life, that is ridiculous. This man actually has an idea. Him and Graham Plattner and Bernie and AOC, that's the way the damn Democratic base is pulling them. Here we go.
Just name dropped you.
When we started this campaign, we thought we had a chance to win. We thought it was a very small chance. It would require everything to go the way that it needed to. And the first decision that we made was to listen to New Yorkers. A lot of times politicians will lecture New Yorkers as to what they should care about. Say, these are the things that you should be asking me about. And we wanted to go out to New Yorkers and ask them, what do you care about in this city? And we heard from them, cost of living, cost of living, cost of living.
Yeah.
Can't afford my rent, can't afford my childcare, can't afford my groceries, can't even afford $2.90 to ride the bus.
Right.
And so we decided to build an entire campaign around...
See, Andrew Cuomo, Donald Trump, and all them, they have billionaires in their fucking pocket, so they don't care. They have never had to worry about financial issues at all. And 90% of people in America have not had that privilege. Zorhan is trying to help the people who really fucking need it and quit giving money to corporations. The corporations have had record fucking profit. It's time to take that money and put it to good use.
Making the most expensive city in America affordable, because that's what New Yorkers were telling us.
Assemblyman, over the weekend, one of your opponents, embattled Mayor Eric Adams, dropped out of the race. And while Adams didn't name check you, he did appear to make veiled swipes. So let's watch this clip.
If you have SNAP or Medicaid, you may qualify.
So what is your response to that, and why do you think he's decided to drop out now?
There have been rumors that he would drop out for weeks, for months, frankly, even for more than a year. And I can't speak to the decision of why he finally came to that, but I can tell you that in hearing his words, the most extreme thing that I can think of are the policies that he's delivered to the city over 4 years. This is a mayor who raised the rent by 12% on 2 million people, who...
Okay, Joy is fixing to ask him how a mayor can raise rent. And he explains it fucking perfectly. People, listen to this. These politicians in our local cities and shit do this stuff, they do it. Like, they choose to let rent go up. They choose to keep rent down. They do all this. They can choose all of this. People don't realize, and they don't hold them accountable. Okay, my rent went up 15 fucking percent, 3%, whatever. Go to your mayor. Ask why the mayor is letting the fucking rent go up. He's about to explain it to her perfectly.
Is the water bill highest it's been in 13 years, and supported Con Edison when they wanted to increase gas
How
and
does the
electric.
mayor raise rent?
So the mayor, in a city of 8.5 million people, controls a thing called the Rent Guidelines Board. Has 9 appointees, the mayor appoints them all. Every year that board determines whether the rent will rise for about 2.5 million New Yorkers who live in rent-stabilized apartments.
Oh, rent stabilized.
Perfect. Perfect.
And so he's increased the rent 12% over this time. The previous mayor had frozen it 3 times.
Okay, let's talk about President Trump, because he had a lot to say about you.
Dear friend of mine.
Let's quickly tick through all the things that Trump said about you, and let's get that out of the way, all right? Number one, he's attacking you as a communist. Are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist. That means I believe in dignity for all people.
It means more than that.
Yeah, I think...
You're not a communist. I agree with that.
No, I'm not a communist. And I think, a lot of New Yorkers have asked me, what does it mean that you're a democratic socialist?
Yeah.
And I tell them to think about the words of Dr. King from decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's the hard part.
Okay. So you're like sort of like a Scandinavian type of politician, I would say, right?
A little more brown, but yes.
Okay. Okay, he's rooting for you.
Instead of letting all these corporations and all these billionaires, especially the foreign billionaires like Rupert Murdoch and Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, all of them, they get to come over here to our country, get money to start a business, then they start a business that constantly gets subsidies from the government. So they're turned into a damn welfare queen, and then they become million and billionaires, and like Elon Musk about to become a fucking trillionaire. So, about to become a trillionaire.
Your opponent, Andrew Cuomo, why do you think that is?
He is looking to clear the field for Andrew Cuomo because he knows that Andrew Cuomo would clear the field for Trump's agenda. This is speaking about a former governor who, when he looked at the deployment of the National Guard in California, told New Yorkers, don't overreact. This is a moment where we have to address the administration for what it is, which is authoritarian. It's going to require us to do everything in our power to fight back, not to coordinate like Andrew Cuomo has done, being on the phone with Donald Trump, or collaborate like...
Not only does he want to help poor people, he's actually willing to call Donald Trump out as being fucking authoritarian and a fascist. We need someone like him fighting for us. We need him as the mayor of New York, and he will be.
Eric Adams has done by welcoming ICE into the city.
We have asked Andrew Cuomo to come on the show. Let's see if he comes on so he can respond to you. Okay. Number 3, he says that he'll withhold, this really is something. Trump says that he will withhold federal funding for New York City if you win. Can he do that, number 1? And my question is that going to stop people from voting for you?
This is just one of the many threats that Donald Trump makes.
That, I believe, is going to motivate people to vote for him, because Donald Trump does not care about people, and clearly right here he is telling everyone he's going to withhold the funds. He's even came out on TV and fucking said that if he has to, he's going to withhold SNAP benefits and WIC and Social Security disability payments. How about that?
Every day he wakes up, he makes another threat, a lot of the times about the city that he actually comes from. And what is angering to me is not what Donald Trump does, because we've come to expect that from him, but it's the idea that we have to accept that as the law. The idea that we have to accept that as normal. We have to fight that, because we know not only is it an overreach from a federal administration, it's an example of what he's done elsewhere.
Yeah.
In California, he's spoken about withholding federal funding. The Attorney General there has estimated that for every dollar they spend in legal fees, they've won more than $30,000 back in funds they would have lost. I'm proud and lucky to say that here in New York we have an incredible Attorney General, Tish James, who's been on the front lines of that same fight.
Isn't that tampering, though? Isn't that tampering when you threaten somebody and say, if you vote for this person?
Yeah.
Isn't that,
I think so.
voter tampering? It's the thing that he says that everybody does. Now he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay. He also,
Familiar with fraud.
Here's my last one. He wants to use cities like New York as military training grounds. Can you stop him?
He wants to do a whole lot of things with this city, and we're going to fight him every step of the way, as long as it is something that comes at the expense of this city. And what I mean by that is that if Donald Trump picks up the phone and he says, you know what, I finally want to deliver on cheaper groceries that I campaigned on, I'll say, absolutely, let's work together.
Wow. When does that happen? When
That's not happening anytime soon,
Yeah.
because all the things that he calls mayors in this city or former governors about is about his own interests. And we deserve a mayor who will look to the people of the city and see that's who I'm accountable to, not look to the White House and ask for permission.
Mr. Assemblyman, as a proud Democratic socialist,
You can call me Zoran.
I feel inappropriate calling that, but you've become the new poster child in some ways for the GOP. Donald Trump's obviously excited for you to be in the race. Even members of your own party, like Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, both New Yorkers, have been reluctant to endorse you. Kamala Harris gave what I would call sort of a tepid endorsement. Why do you think members of your own party have been hesitant to embrace you at this juncture?
Because they are weak, because they do not have a spine, and because they are fucking beholden to AIPAC. That's exactly fucking why. I'll tell you.
Governor of New York, though, endorsed you.
She did, and what I would say is that Donald Trump is going through the stages of grief. First, it was denial, and he was trying to do everything he could. He was looking at polling, he was calling Cuomo, he was publicly speaking about how he wanted to narrow this race, and he's gotten his first wish. He's gotten Eric Adams out of this race. But now he's going through acceptance. And what I've been really excited by is the endorsements, like you said, Sonny, from not only Governor Hochul, not only from Majority Leader of the State Senate Andrea Stewart Cousins, Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie, Attorney General Tish James that we were just speaking about, but also the fact that I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it was endorsements that made all the difference. It was the people of the city.
But Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are trying to win the midterms, win back the House and the Senate for Democrats. So why specifically do you think they're hesitant to endorse you?
You know, I can't speak to their thoughts and their interest in this. What I can tell you, however, is that what we have built in this city is also an indication of what politics can be. You know, oftentimes after the November general election, we heard that young people were leaving the Democratic Party. They were getting disinterested in politics. And we built a campaign where we said, what if we treated them with respect and not condescension? What if we asked them what they needed in the city? We made the top 3 highest performing age groups all under the age of 35.
That shit is so true. He is the only Democrat who has all these young people out here voting for him. He got so many young people active in politics in New York City. But that video says it all. Donald Trump will never call him and say, I want to go ahead and team up with you and tackle what is really hurting the American people and the people of your city in New York. High grocery prices. Let's try to find a way to bring them down. Let's try to find a way to bring rent down. Let's try to find a way to help people pay for their daycare. Let's try to find a way to help people pay for their health care. Let's try to stop taking people's fucking health care from them. How about that? I mean, we need to stop reporting on every fucking little thing Donald Trump does and start reporting on what our people are trying to do for people in our country, because we're the only ones who really give a fuck about people. All these other people are focused on big national culture war issues and bullshit. Our people are trying to help everyday Americans, and we need to get that message out there. Please remember to like this video and subscribe.